To answer the question, buy Bitcoin now? Well, the answer is, it depends what time frame you're on. Right? Are you looking at buying it and holding it? Or are you looking at trading it? Because if you're looking at trading it, I would argue that it has just completed a number of mean reversions on the lower time frames. If you've just seen my previous video, you'd know that. And if you've been reading the VAPS charts, you would know that. Right? So if you're looking at just buying it and putting it in your wallet and forgetting about it for 5 years, 10 years, whatever, well then, not financial advice, but that is what I do. Right? I just buy it and hold it, which is different from what I do with my trading. Right? But in terms of stacking sats, just buy and hold. DCA, as they say. Doesn't matter if it's daily, weekly, monthly, whatever you can, whatever I can afford. Whatever I can afford to lose, literally, is what I put into it. I have my number. That's what I put into it. I do it on a regular basis. And I don't really care what the price is. Right? That's what DCA means. Dollar cost average. That means that you buy on a regular basis, like clockwork. You buy the same amount every time. Of course, if you can ever increase the amount you buy, that will obviously affect your average. But, that's what I do. Whenever I can increase it, I do. But until I know that I can increase it for the long term, meaning regularly buy more at a certain rate for a long period of time, then I do that. If I don't know that I can do that, for at least 1 to 2 years ahead of me, then I don't do that. I just stay with what I'm currently DCAing. And that goes for any asset that I buy and hold. Right? It doesn't matter how much I buy. It doesn't matter if I buy, $5 worth, $10 worth, $100 worth, $1,000. It doesn't matter. What matters is I buy consistently the same amount every time, like clockwork, no matter what the price is. Because over time, especially because assets tend to distribute and mean revert, right? You get a pretty decent average, and you build a stack. And when you're buying an asset that over the past 15 years has gone up, nearly 12 billion%, there's a lot of logic to why DCA works. But again, it doesn't matter what asset it is, as long as it's an asset that has a fairly good looking forecast that you actually believe has a good reason to return, to give you good returns, positive returns in the future. So it's not financial advice, because apparently we shouldn't say that on YouTube, right? But even saying that doesn't mean anything. But we're all grown-ups, at least we should be. If you're not a grown-up, you shouldn't be trading. You shouldn't be investing without the supervision of a capable adult who actually knows what they're doing. Right? This is just me sharing what I do. Definitely don't follow what I do for signals, because that's not what I'm giving you ever. I'm not going to tell you buy now or sell now. Absolutely not. Will I tell you the probabilities? Yeah. And the probabilities, based on the returns, by looking at the means and the returns, right, are that for the foreseeable future, I'm talking years out, right, Bitcoin is set to continue rising for the long term. Why? Because it has a very limited supply. The available amount is dwindling significantly, since people who have a lot of money are buying more and more of it, thus making the available supply increasingly smaller. There's less than 1 million Bitcoin left on exchanges right now, out of the 21 million Bitcoin that can ever exist, of which more than 19.7 million have been mined, and the remaining 1.3 million will be mined over the next 116 years or so. What that means is basically there will never be more than there is now on the market, ever. Why? Because the 1.3 million that remain to be mined are far less than the amount that have already been lost, made inaccessible. And as the asset continues to grow in value, you can rest assured, especially as people keep buying more of it, that the available supply will continue to dwindle. There will always be some amount available, but it won't be, 10% or more of the coin. It won't be maybe 30% or more of the coin. Those numbers are very unlikely to ever be available again. It might happen, but the probabilities are extremely high, for example, that you'll never have 10 million Bitcoins available on the market again, right? Could it happen? Well, yeah, anything's possible, but the probabilities are such that that won't happen. And what that means is that there's a high demand for something for which there is a low supply. If you know anything about market forces and economics 101 and the law of supply and demand, when there is a low supply and a high demand, the price tends to go up because, well, that's the natural law of supply and demand. So, long term, yes, I'm very bullish. Medium term, I'm pretty bullish. I think we have not yet seen the top of what people call the bull run, although to me that just means more buy pressure compared to the sell pressure. There's no such thing as a bull run or a bear run, or a bull market or a bear market. It's just, is there more buy pressure or sell pressure at the moment? That's all it is. And when you just have an exacerbated amount of it, that's lasting for a prolonged period of time. And overall, people tend to call that a bull run, but that doesn't make it so. But long term, yeah, I'm, confident that there will be more good returns on Bitcoin. But in the immediate short term, intraday, I look at the lower time frames. That's where the opportunities are. That's where the occurrences of opportunities exist. That is where you'll find the most number of occurrences of opportunities. And that is where you can get the best value for your trades. Very simply because when there are more occurrences of opportunities for entries and exits, you can gather more percentage gains by the end of your trading session, as opposed to sitting in long, high time frames that you might not even get any trades in a particular day. If you're just waiting for candles to go by, for setups to happen, that might take many hours or days or weeks. So yeah, that's my view. Do I think buying now is a good thing? Well, like I said, long term, big picture, this certainly has all the hallmarks of being a good time for me to buy. I don't know about you. I don't know your context, so I can't say that for you. But for me, that's a good time. But short term, I don't look at it that way at all. I just look at it as scalping. Opportunities to scalp. And that goes for every asset I trade. Anyway, hope you got some neat information out of that. And if you did, feel free to do the usuals. Anyway, see you later. Happy trading.